Hello and welcome to our newest video. Today I am talking about my Railmaster Blood Drinker tank build. And the build itself heavily relies on Blood Drinker and its healing abilities, mainly from Bloodseekers. And we're using Slammer builds for some damage output as well as debuffing our opponents. Let's talk about the skills real fast. If you're wondering how to skill, when to skill, and about anything else, I highly recommend clicking the link below the video or just switching to our website torchlight-school.com, where you can find an in-depth guide on this build. So let's talk about the skills. Blasting Charge gives us a great tier 2 bonus, reducing incoming damage while we are melee attacking, which we're doing all the time. And it also applies a vulnerability debuff to enemies in a area of effect area. Bloodseekers is our main AoE skill, and it's also our main healing skill. So you really want to max out Bloodseekers as soon as possible. Hammer Spin, there's some discussion to have about maxing it out or not. I think it's worth to get the 50% damage reduction, but you don't have to do that. Just having the tier 1 bonus might be fine if you're rather using the skill points for something else. Our fourth skill is Living Barrier. We're currently only having 1 point in Living Barrier. Luckily, we found a Ancient Ember Helm with +6 skill levels to Living Barrier. It's great, but it's totally not needed. Having 1 point in Living Barrier just to get a little bit more damage mitigation and healing is fine. And we're obviously using Dance of Death because we're already wasting, or rather using, our relic energy, so having Dance of Death as another AoE boost, damage boost is great. And we're using a lot of passives here, just to increase our damage and healing as well. We're using, Shocking Rounds. Shocking Rounds, let's talk about Shocking Rounds real quick. We're using it only for the tier 2 bonus, which gives us 30% basic attack damage. So it sounds a little bit like we're wasting 6 skill points, but if you think about it, the way rail hammers work in this game is fairly strong. Not only do we deal area of effect damage, which every basic attack, but we also have a high weapon damage multiplier. So as you can see right now, our basic attacks deal 522% weapon damage with each hit to an area of effect. So what that means is, if we are standing in a group of 15 enemies, we're dealing 522% weapon damage to 15 enemies with 1 hit. Which means that Shocking Rounds gives us way more than 30% basic damage attack increase. So that's the main reason why I'm using Shocking Rounds. If you don't like it, if you're not into basic attacking, which is fine, the build even works without that, you can easily just skill up Spinning Blade instead. Our last skill here is Imbue Relic, which we are getting via our Legendarium right now. The Ancient Ember Boots is great to have if you're having... Well, it's great to have every time, but if you're having an Ancient Ember set already, which we do, we're using 3 right here, 3 parts. It gives us a fully charged relic as well as instantly access to our Dance of Death, which, yeah, it's just a great way to instantly increase our damage output by a lot. And of course, Flying Picks as our second main skill, basically. it's great because first of all we are getting a ranged attack, which we are currently lacking, or rather a targeted range attack, which we're currently lacking. And it also summons 2 ancient spirits, and we can have up to 4 ancestral spirits up. So these ancestral spirits will increase our relic energy regeneration by a lot, and they also take off the aggro of enemies. So much for the build right now. Let's jump in, and we are currently on Ridiculous, and we are jumping into the highest level of Fazir's dungeon. Let's pick Berserking here. And yeah, while we're fighting right now, try to have a look on the ancient spirits, because I often see that these are fairly underrated. But yeah, not only do they deal decent amount of damage, they also give a damage over time debuff, as well as yeah, just basically picking up aggro from mobs. Alright, now we're standing here, making sure not to get hit, using our flying pigs, trying to dodge over. Hammer spin is currently blocked, which is not optimal, but it's okay. Pressing E here, pressing our Dance of Death to clear all these small mobs here. Pressing 2 now to get the AoE going, using our flying picks. And yeah, you can see, take a look at the debuffs here. Even though the boss will be invulnerable right now, you can see we can't deal damage. He still loses health because of our debuffs, which is a great way to deal damage during the phase where we can't really attack him. Totally forgot to use blasting charge here. So the standard rotation is we're using flying picks, then we're using our blasting charge to give the vulnerable debuff, doing that again, and attack. And here we're going to pop our living barrier every time it's off cooldown, just to get a little bit more damage mitigation. Using our E again, our imbue relic, to pop our Dance of Death, killing all these small critters here, and debuffing with our vulnerability debuff, flying pigs, debuffing, and it's dead. So, as you can see, I was a little bit distracted from my own talking, but we don't really have to dodge anything. We can stand inside these poison puddles here. You can see we're even healing with our shield up, healing with our Bloodseekers up. So yeah, it's basically the build. It's fairly strong. Ooh, nice. It's fairly strong. Oh, it's very nice. And yeah, that's basically the build. Let's switch to... Actually, let's switch to our stats here. I really want to talk about the defensive stats you should aim for. Currently at 63 versus all, 63 versus the primary element. If you're sitting around 55%, that's totally fine. Should be enough to heal against every damage source in the game right now. So yeah, that's the build. If you're having any questions, feel free to leave us a comment under the video or visit the website torchlight-school.com and leave a comment there. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and I'll hope to see you in the next video as well. Bye bye.